What just activated right now was your amygdala. Now, you might be asking, what now? No worries. This small but important part of the brain will be our main topic for today. Before we explain what exactly the amygdala is, let's give a little bit of history context. So the amygdala was first formally recognized in the 19th century by a German physiologist Brudak, who discovered an almond-shaped gray matter in the anterior portion of the temporal lobe, like this right here. The first anatomical description of the amygdala, however, was made in 1867 by Mayert. So as we mentioned before, the amygdala is a very important part of the brain. But why is it important, and what does it do exactly? The amygdala has a multitude of functions. It participates in regulating autonomic and endocrine functions, decision-making, and adapts to instinctive and motivational behaviors of the environment. It is also included in the activation of the fight or flight and the location where fears and phobias are stored in the brain. The keywords that we should always be associated with the amygdala are emotion, evolution, fear, and anxiety. As I mentioned before, the amygdala has many different functions, the most important one being a major processing center for emotions such as fear. This part of the brain, located on both sides of your temporal lobe, will detect any danger in your environment due to the fact that it recognizes fear first. This recognition and processing of fear is very important in surviving and navigating your environment. So what happens if there's an issue with this part of the brain? Most conditions that involve the damaged amygdala are either psychiatric, meaning they are mental health related, or they are neurological, brain related. The mental health disorders that demonstrate a change in your amygdala include anxiety disorders, mood disorders, panic disorders, phobias, and post-traumatic stress disorder, or formerly known as PTSD. Now that we have discussed the psychiatric disorders of the amygdala, let's talk about the neurological disorders. The neurological disorders, or brain-related disorders, include but are not limited to Alzheimer's disease, brain cancer, temporal lobe epilepsy, and strokes. There are many different ways and tests that you can take to check the condition of your amygdala. These include MRI scans, PET scans, EEGs, and MEG scans. That was a lot of information to grasp about a little almond-shaped part of your brain known as the amygdala. Even though the amygdala does not have big surface area in your brain, it still has many important functions. The most important one includes it being a major processing center for emotions such as fear and phobias. There will be a little concept checked at the end of the video to make sure you grasp all the important information about the amygdala. Now, the next time you get scared, you can thank your amygdala for recognizing that danger and getting you out of that situation as quickly as possible.